guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to Waiters Serve Style, serving you your dose of fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. I'm Crystal Waiters. I do all of the things over here, girl, from styling, makeup artistry, photography, modeling. Simply put, I'm a fashion and beauty enthusiast, and if fashion and beauty is something that you love, girl, what are you doing? Am I judging? Yes, because we are almost at the end of 2025. No, we're not. We're just in the middle. And you still haven't subscribed. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, because it's not just a great video. It's a amazing video. All right, let's dive right into it. Today's video, I'm sharing my tips on how to dress your different body types. There are 5 different body types that I'm speaking of today. So I want you to identify which one you lean more towards. The first one is hourglass, then it's rectangular, triangle, inverted triangle, and oval. And I'm going through each and every one of these to identify the characteristics, the focus, and my tips on how to dress these types of bodies and to ensure that you look great. That tip. All right, let's dive right in. Okay, the first body type that I'm talking about dressing is the hourglass body type. Okay, the characteristics of this body type is a very defined waist with the same proportions of the bust and the hips, not necessarily the behind, but when you are front facing, you have a very proportionate figure in terms of your bust size and your hip ratio, and you have a very defined waist. The focus of this body type is, of course, emphasizing the waist. So I have this body type. I don't necessarily have the behind to match, but my bust and my hip ratio are similar in proportion, and I have a very defined waistline. So I love to ensure that my waist is very much so highlighted. Back in the day when belts, and when you used to wear belts with anything, I mean the big wide belts, that was my time to shine. I was a little heavier back then, so to make me look a little bit more skinnier, defining the waistline was my go-to. Now, my tips on how to dress this body type is, again, finding very tailored pieces that highlight the waist. So your pencil skirts, your dresses that have the wide belts, of course, the pieces that hug your curves. So just about anything can work on this body type because we are God's favorites, I'm just saying. But finding pieces that emphasize the waist is your go-to. All right, on to the next. Okay, next up is the rectangular shape. For this body type, the characteristics are your more athletic build. So you are straight up and down. So your bust, waist, hips are literally the same measurement. And the focus on dressing this body type is creating curves. So finding pieces that have very much so volume, pieces that have embellishment work. And my tips on dressing this body type is finding pieces that have fluidity. So something similar to this. I don't necessarily have a rectangular body type, but this piece will work great because it is voluminous, it's flowy, it has fluidity, and it has a bit of draping. So you want to give this body type volume. So dresses that are A-line or dresses that have unique features such as organza, or even, I hate tutus, but even your tutus, something that is very over the top. These are almost like this body type is also one of God's favorites because most models are straight up and down. So if you find yourself having this body type, you can have fun with very avant-garde pieces, pieces that have a lot of structure, pieces that you would see in editorial magazines. So, of course, I'm throwing up, different examples over here. Let me know what you guys think. On to the next. Okay, next up is the triangular shape. This body type, the characteristics include that your bust or your top half is a lot smaller than your bottom. So these are my very, very curvier women who have smaller bust lines, but voluminous hips and behind. So the focus in dressing this body type is ensuring that you bring the eye up. So identifying the colors and the prints that work best for you and adding them to your top half. So a printed top, a bright color. Your main focus is focusing the eye on the top half to create balance. My tips in dressing this body type is, again, creating balance. So finding voluminous tops, finding tops with a very intricate print that draw the eye upward, and avoiding pieces or garments that focus the attention on your hip area. Because for most persons who have this body type, they probably get enough attention at the bottom half of their body. So your goal is to identify the pieces or the prints or the colors rather that work best for you, and the brighter, the bolder, the better. Pop them on up at the top, create the balance, and you have a very cohesive look. All right, on to the next. Okay, next up is the inverted triangle body type. These are for my beauties. These are my beauties that have wider midsections, that are curvier in the midsection area, that possibly have the apron bellies. You are doing the same thing as the triangular shaped body types, but in reverse. So we are adding structure and volume to the bottom half of your body, because most women who have the inverted triangle body type are bustier with smaller legs. We want to create balance. The idea for these two types of body types is creating balance. So you can go voluminous on the pants. This is where your A-line structures work best, because you are creating that hourglass shape. For my fashion girls, this is where the super wide leg pants are great. If you are a barrel jean wearer, excuse me, these pieces, those jeans work very well for you guys. Also, your peplum tops. Peplums, people, I used to shy away from peplums because I felt like that was fashion's way of throwing something, extra to plus size women. But peplum tops have their place. Get creative. You can find peplum tops that have rosettes. You can find A-line tops, not just peplum tops, but A-line tops that create a waist for you and emphasize your waist, and also create structure. So finding bottoms and pieces that are more voluminous and also brings the eye down, because we want to create, again, that balance. So identify prints and colors that work best for your body type. You can go bold, but instead of wearing those prints and colors on the top, we are wearing them at the bottom to create balance. All right, on to the next. Okay, for the last body type, we are talking about the oval body type. This body type is a curvier silhouette that has a more protruding midsection. So the focus is to create a midsection, create a waistline, and to give the body overall, the word again, balance. So you want to avoid pieces that highlight the midsection and find pieces where you're able to create a structured midsection. So belted dresses, belted blazers, anything with a belt actually, that creates a defined waist. So similar to the hourglass silhouette, we want to emphasize a new waist. So these are silhouettes that the white waist should be higher than your actual midsection to create a new waist. So that's another tip within the tip. For oval body shapes, you want to bring the eye up a little bit above your actual midsection. Find a fabulous belt, belt it, and boom, you got a new silhouette. I love suiting for this type of body type. And I know you're like, what? Oval? Yes. Finding a structured suit for an oval body type, where you have a more protruding belly. It creates a level of structure that will create the balance to have a more cohesive look. So suiting, dresses with large belts, or jackets or tops with a very, very defined waistline. All right, on to the next. All right, my tips in terms of dressing different body types are subjective. These are my tips, and hopefully they are, tips that you will gravitate towards and will be beneficial to you. But the most important tips is to identify pieces that make you feel confident and that are also comfortable. Take risks. Try different things. Even with the body type that I have, I love to try my hand at different silhouettes. So your ruching, your draping, your structure. Sometimes I want to wear a very tight outfit and I don't have much of a behind. I'm still going to wear it. Take risks. At the end of the day, this is your body. Yes, we have different body types. And yes, there are tips to ensure that we dress our bodies appropriately. However, at the end of the day, as long as you feel confident and beautiful and comfortable, wear what it is that you like to wear. All right, moving right along. All right, my final tip is find features that you wish to highlight. If you are a collarbone girly, find a neckline that works well with your collarbone. For me, I love to highlight my legs. They long enough, they're here, I want to show them. So I've been really loving mini skirts. I've been really loving mini skirts. In addition to that, I also actually do love highlighting my waist. So anything that's nipped in, tucked, that make me look snatched, you got me. You had me at hello. But again, trying different pieces, trying different silhouettes, that's a great way to ensure that you find the best pieces that work well for you. But if you have a feature that you love to highlight, go all out. So whether it's your legs, whether it's your bust line, some girls like to highlight the girls. Or even if it's, for my curvier girls, if you are one that's well endowed in the back and you like to highlight it, show it. Just don't be inappropriate. But find features of your body that you love and wish to highlight and do it. All right, on to the next. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. These are my tips on how to dress different types of body styles. Not body styles, body types. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's any that I missed. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Be well, be safe, and be blessed.